Hey everybody, Roman versus with the Squashfest podcast and my co-host.
The next El Grande Americano, the
Stop
boy
it.
hard. Gracias. You think if I donned the mask and
I would love
got
to
into a
see you don the mask.
if I donned the mask and got into a wrestling ring, do you think they wouldn't know who's under the mask? Because that entire match, Michael Cole and Corey Graves were like, "Who is this new El Grande Americano?" What? Oh God. Anyways, yeah. Monday Night Raw.
It was a good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's some things I could do without. There were some entertaining parts. I thought it was a good show.
I'm happy there were zero tag matches.
I mean, they had them all on SmackDown. So
The dichotomy between SmackDown's booking and Raw's booking.
it's just crazy.
All right. So the show starts with the Seth Rollins group. They
Yes.
still don't have a name. This is what Michael Cole's called the Seth Rollins group in the ring. And Paul Heyman is cutting a promo. And I can't tell you what his promo was. All I know is it took me out when he started talking about Penta and started talking Spanish. Like, what?
Which is
Like,
what I was immediately going to say. This man needs to never speak Spanish.
I don't know what he said.
He was
I
backstage
just,
and he said "hijo de puta," and the way he said it, he was
no,
like,
he said that was
"Hijo."
late.
No, I know that was
That was
later in the
later in
night,
the show.
but I'm saying like him speaking Spanish took me out completely.
He said something about dirty garbage. It's all I understand. He said basura sucio.
Well,
And I was like,
yeah, half of what he said made no sense. He
who
doesn't.
let
Yeah, who made that creative decision to
who
allow
let
him?
the fat Jew from Brooklyn cut a promo in Spanish? Was my first takeaway of this entire show. I was like, all right. So we get a promo from Braun Breaker,
Mm.
and he's basically running down Sami Zayn, and he's saying, "Why do
Well,
y'all love him?"
it's the fact that he cut it, like Heyman went to go past the mic
Mm-hmm.
to Seth, and then he literally just walked in between. Because you see, like, there was contention for a second. Because, like, Seth was like, what is he doing? Who told him he could take the mic? Like, there was that whole part. Don't gloss over that. That was a pretty important piece of.
Yeah.
And then Braun he's just like, he didn't care about nothing else going on other than the fact he needed to say that Sami Zayn is garbage and he needs to take
100%.
him out. And he was like, I'm in this group because Paul and Seth think that I'm gonna be in the main event for the next 20 some odd years or whatever the case may
Of
be.
WrestleMania, yeah.
But in my WWE, there can be no Sami Zayn.
He said, "This man doesn't look like he hits a gym.
Yeah.
This man doesn't look like he shaves.
Yep.
I don't understand why y'all cheer for him, why y'all sing his song. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we need to put him down." And then, so as he's saying all this, Rollins is laughing hysterically, leaning on Paul Heyman, just
Mm-hmm.
watching. He's like, okay, then he hands the mic to Bronson Reed. And Bronson Reed goes, "I'm essentially going to put down Jey Uso tonight. Like, and if Jey Uso doesn't respect me, I'm gonna make him respect me the same way I made Seth respect me by hitting him with 6 tsunamis, and I'm gonna beat the respect into him."
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rollins takes the mic and goes, "Since y'all said everything already, I ain't got nothing to say except welcome to Monday Night Rollins," and he walks out. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, all right, cool. This is where they told you from the get go what this episode was gonna be, and they fulfilled on that because
You think so?
they made that group look better in one night than they had since they put them together.
Sure.
Each
My only issue is yes, they each came out on top. They each took care of their mission, but none of them destroyed anybody.
Braun Breaker destroyed Sami Zayn.
No, he
Hit him
did
with three
not.
spears.
He
He
hit
hit him
him
with
with
three
yeah, he
spears.
hit him with 3 spears and that's it. After the match, after the bell rang, he should have continued the onslaught. That would have been destroying. You just ending the match and finishing off. That's not ending somebody. That's not destroying somebody. Like, no.
Well, they literally at the toward after said Sami Zayn's out indefinitely. They wrote him off of TV
Yeah, no, they definitely did
with
that.
Braun Breaker hitting him with three spears. We've already talked about how impactful Braun's spears are, so they're going with that route. But the fact that each individual, and this is where we had our issues with them before, each individual member of this group completed their mission single-handedly.
Yes.
None of them needed help from anybody else, and none of them needed to cheat.
Yeah.
Like, you had Bronson Reed, as much as I may not like the character, you had Bronson Reed beat Jey Uso clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, or was it a
No,
DQ?
it was
Either
a
way,
DQ.
it was a DQ. It was a DQ because he threw the chair at him.
Yes.
He hit him with the chair. You had Bronson Reed hit him with the chair and then hit him with 2 tsunami splashes. Like you taking out Jey Uso. You had Braun Breaker right Sami Zayn off of TV, and then you had Seth Rollins. Sure, it's like a headbutt to the nuts, but you had Seth Rollins get a win over Penta. All three of them did it
clean. You were about to
I was
say
just clean. Technically, it was clean. It wasn't a low blow. Penta was picking up Seth, and it was an incidental contact to the groinal region.
No. And here's how you know why that's BS. Because as soon as it happened, Seth comes up and he's maniacally laughing because he knew what he did. Realistically, in real life, I believe that it was an accident. In kayfabe, no, he did that on purpose.
Oh man! All right. Well, yeah, they kick off Raw. All of them look great tonight. That's like I said, you're making them look stronger. And then we got our first match. We got Kairi Sane versus Roxanne Perez.
Mm-hmm.
This was a traditional heel-ish style match from Roxanne. You know, attack Kyrie's bad arm, all this other stuff. But I could have fallen asleep and woken back up and not felt like I didn't miss anything.
Wow.
In this match.
Terrible. Terrible.
There wasn't much to it. There wasn't a lot to it. It was just there. It was there for
It was
filler.
a fine match.
It was to get to the end when the Judgment Day comes out and when Raquel comes to help Roxanne and beat down Kairi because Kairi was about to get the win.
It was to push. It was to push the story.
And then Asuka comes out to help her former tag team partner to reassemble the Kabuki Warriors because they're going to be the Raw participants for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
As soon as Asuka came out, I said, "Oh, Kabuki Warriors!
Yes,
we're getting them back."
I was like, Kabuki Warriors.
As soon as it happened, like this was not a shock to me. As soon as she came out, I was just like, "Oh, okay, so they're back, and they're gonna represent Raw," and that's exactly what happened.
All right, so that's what happens. The Kabuki Warriors run off the heels, because we've talked about how Judgment Day are probably baby faces at this point.
Yeah,
but they run off the heels, and later on we find out the Kabuki Warriors are going to be the Raw participants. Preceding this match, we did have a segment in the back with the Judgment Day, and this was hilarious. This was hysterical. Raquel walks. So Finn is wiping down. Finn is wiping down all 5 of the belts, and he goes over to Dom, and him and JD are talking to Dom, and Roxanne walks in, and then Raquel walks in, and Raquel goes, "What is that?" And they pan over to a photo of Liv Morgan over like flowers. Like she had died, and I'm just like, is Roxanne and Finn performing a wake right now for Liv Morgan? Mm-hmm. And Raquel's like, she's rehabbing her shoulder every day. She's gonna be back soon. And Finn's like, I had that same injury. I was out for 8 months, and I'm pretty strong. I mean, look at Liv. It's just like, so, and Roxanne's just like, oh, all right. Well, we gotta go ready for a match. So they leave. I don't remember what Finn and JD said. It really doesn't matter. They walk out. Oh no! Dom looks at Finn and JD and goes, "Thank you for the cake." And Finn's like, and in unison, they're like, "Cake? I didn't get that cake." And then they walk away, and Dom looks down at the cake and goes, "Get well soon from AJ." And he pans over and AJ Styles is hiding behind their clothing rack. And he does this, the old man thing, like, I'm watching you. And Dom scrambles around to find his doctor's note and then goes to look for AJ. And AJ's gone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what are we doing? What kind of Three Stooges nonsense are they writing for Dom and Mysterio and AJ Styles right now?
Hilarity. That's what they're doing.
It was funny. It was funny, but I'm definitely like, what 70-year-old is Bruce Pritchard still back there working for them, writing these stories? Because
yes.
all I got from that was this was like the Odd Couple. Like, it was really strange. But yeah, so we had that. We talked about the Kabuki Warriors. All right. Sami Zayn's full slate, new challenger. Sami Zayn got interviewed in the back. Don't even remember what he talked about. Doesn't matter. He gets beat down later. I got nothing. I got nothing for Sami Zayn right now. Sami Zayn was supposed to face somebody last night. Who was he? Who was in the ring when Sami got attacked?
Karrion Kross attacked him when he was supposed to face off against Braun Breaker.
Right, that's what it was. Because we just talked about Braun Breaker beating Sami Zayn. Yes, Braun Breaker's in the ring already. He comes out into the ring and Karrion Kross hits him with the fall. I know Karrion Kross attacked him.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember who he was supposed to face. Oh, God, this is going to be such bad. All right, so yeah, he's in the back. My brain is shot. Oh, God. Ah, God. Yeah. He said his plate is too full. He doesn't want to be worried about Karrion Kross anymore. He's got to worry about other things moving forward. And it precedes to get Karrion Kross to attack him again. Mm-hmm. Later in the show, international feed, Karrion Kross is getting interviewed up in the stands. And as he's talking, huge pop, the whole crowd is chanting, "We want Kross."
Yeah. He's like
now
you got me.
Yeah, he's in super babyface territory right now. Like, they need to start doing something with him. But when Sami Zayn walked away from Jackie Redmond, Scarlett walks up and she's just staring at Sami Zayn in that direction. And Jackie Redmond's like, "Scarlett, do you have something to say?" And she's like, "No." And that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And all right, so then we get Ivy Nile and the Creed brothers in the backstage with Adam Pearce, and they're talking about the match El Grande Americano is going to have later in the show. And Brutus Creed, God bless your soul, he goes, "How can El Grande Americano have the match tonight?" And Adam Pearce is like, "What do you mean? He requested a match." And he goes, "But he can't have a match because Chad's hurt." And they're looking at him. And Adam Pearce is like, "Why would
what does his injury have?
Chad Gable's injury?" And Brutus Creed goes, "Well, because," and Julius was like, "Shut up." Like, this man is about to spoil secrets on Raw last night. And then Ivy's like, "Forget that. I want a match at Evolution. I want to be in the Battle Royal." And Adam Pearce is like, "That's fine. I was going to put you in the Battle Royal anyway." Like, and they leave. It's just like that little moment of Brutus Creed was hilarious. It was like, what is happening? Why you cannot be this dumb.
And yet.
Yeah. All right. And then we get Nikki Bella's segment. Why?
Her vignette thing?
Her vignette.
When she was all like, "I'm going to go to Evolution and blah, 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 blah." She's like, "This is the position I was in before. And I know that there's a lot of new talent and blah, 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 blah." And I'm just like, okay.
Again, it was supposed to be Liv and Brie, or Liv and Nikki, or Raquel and Liv against the Bella twins. I could have seen that too. But because Liv gets hurt, we have to transition something to do with Nikki Bella.
Yep.
We decide, or WWE decides, Nikki Bella needs to be in this battle royal for the number one contendership for one of the women's championships at Clash in Paris. Two takeaways. Nikki Bella definitely had another facelift because she was looking super skinny.
Wow. I didn't see that coming, and I also disagree. Continue.
she did something to her face the last time she was on TV. Um, Second takeaway. As much as I said on yesterday's pod, I would have preferred Nikki over Trish facing Tiffany Stratton at Evolution. No one cares about this battle royal. I couldn't remember why we were having this battle royal this coming Sunday until they said the winner gets the #1 contender shot. I'm like, okay, cool. Now there's stakes on it. Now it makes sense. But I thought we were just having a battle royal to be like, all right, let's put all the women on the card because we need to have all the women on the card. I mean, it's both. But
it starts out with we need to have all the women on the card, and then it ends with #1 contendership.
It's like Nikki's like, oh, I need to face the women of yesteryear and the women of today to show them why I was the face of 2 generations. No, you don't. No, you weren't. I'm sorry. You don't need to show Stephanie Vacour and 17 women from NXT and whoever else, and Ivy Nile and whoever else is going to be in this match, both members of Secret Service and whoever else is going to be in this match, that you're Nikki Bella. No one cares. No, like every time she comes around, the female glazing of Nikki Bella, even to the point last time she was on TV, they had EO go to her in the backstage and say, "You're such an inspiration to everybody here." EO, who told you to lie on TV? When Nikki Bella was at her peak, you were over in Stardom with Asuka and with the other with your sister, I think, EO's sister, in a women's group. Your wrestling acumen has always been better than Nikki's. She's not an inspiration to you. You weren't a playmate turned wrestler. Now, if somebody in NXT said that, I'd understand. But for actual women who have been wrestling for 10, 15 years to put Nikki Bella up on a pedestal because WWE fans need to have Nikki Bella up on a pedestal, I'm sorry, no.
I disagree. Here's why I disagree.
The Celsius is kicking in.
Because even if, right, you're talking in terms of wrestling. That makes perfect sense. I understand what you're saying. But in terms of positioning, Nikki was at the top. Of course, she's something for them to strive for because that's where every woman wrestler wanted to be. They wanted to be on top. So that's why I can understand where they're saying we look up to you. It doesn't have to be with her in-ring ability because even starting out, they were way better than Nikki Bella because they were actual wrestlers. It's about the positioning.
Yeah, but you use the word inspiration. Nikki Bella is not an inspiration to any of these female wrestlers. Like I said, if you're telling me, I'm gonna throw NXT names at you. If you're telling me,
I disagree. And the reason is because the positioning. Because back then, that was the biggest type of female wrestler you got. She was the biggest thing. It started with Trish and it continued with the Bellas, but realistically, that was the era in which they actually started wrestling. Before that, they were not.
I mean, go watch TNA Knockouts division in 2008 and tell me that the women's didn't wrestle.
That's not canon.
Women's wrestling has been good in other places than WWE.
And I understand that. However, what is the premier show?
Dynamite.
You wish. You wish. The point is that the biggest wrestling company with the biggest show, that was not the type of wrestling they were showing at the time. Man, even as a non-wrestling, even with all the non-wrestling, the women in the WWE were still above all the rest because they were on WWE programming. That's it.
For 3 minutes at a time.
You're not wrong. Nothing you're going to say is wrong. It's just the fact that, again, it's about positioning. Where was she? What show was she on? Where was she airing? Like, nobody was watching TNA. I'm sorry. They've always been great wrestlers, but nobody was watching TNA.
at TNA's highest, they were getting 3, 4, 5 million views a week. So it's not that no one was watching TNA. They were there was a time when TNA had a good viewership. Anyways, let's move on. So we got our mid commercial break from the New Day. Anyways, we just spoke about this New Day coming out dressed in
All black.
all black, mourning the loss of their tag team championships. Hilarious. These guys are doing great work. I love. It's just so. It looked like they were going to an Adams family funeral. They're both wearing veils.
Yep.
They're. It was just great. They're both holding black roses, and they reveal that they asked Adam Pearce for a tag team title rematch, but they didn't say when it's going to be.
And not for nothing, but the War Raiders had a perfect point of saying, "How do you guys ask for your rematch, but you wouldn't give us ours?"
Yeah,
Which is completely valid.
yeah.
Like how you skipping the line technically. And then that's when Becky Lynch comes back and she's on her way to the ring, and she tells them,
Those are two different segments. I'm talking about. I was talking about the segment. No, I was talking about the mid commercial break. I was talking about when they were talking to the crowd.
"Oh, that one I didn't see."
That one you didn't see. No, but before that, yes, they had a background where New Day was talking to Pierce, wanting their tag title rematch, and then War Raiders comes up and said, "Why what you just said?" And then Becky Lynch comes up. I bubbled the shit out of that. What you just said. That's when Becky Lynch comes up and says, "Sorry for your loss." And she goes, "You know what? You guys did a good thing kicking Big E to the curb. That guy was such a," and I forget the word she used, but it was just like,
either way, she was like, "I hate that guy."
she's like, "I hate Big E." And they're like, "Thank you." And Adam Pearce is like shell shocked. He's like, "What the hell is happening right now?" But she's on her way to the ring for her promo, and we skipped those Seth Sami Zayn match, but we'll do that after. She's on her way to the ring for promo, and this needed to end. Like I cannot wait for Evolution to be passed so we can be done with this triple threat feud that's going on with these women. Becky's in the ring. She's cutting a promo. She's talking about how just Becky Lynch stuff. I'm the greatest. These two women, why do they have a title match against me when they both lost last week? They're both their shoulders are pinned to the ground. How does that make sense? And she's interrupted by Bayley. And Bayley came out and, side note, looked great as ever last night, Bayley.
Yes, she did.
Bayley came out, and before she could even say anything, Lyra's music hit it. And on her way to the ring, she shoulder bumps Bayley, gets into the ring, and she goes, "Becky, what are you delusional? What are you talking about? Blah 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 blah." It doesn't matter. And then Bayley gets in the ring and she's yelling at them both, and she goes, "I realized something while I was out. I didn't need a friend. I didn't need a partner. The only thing I need is that Intercontinental Championship on Becky's shoulder." And Becky goes to Bayley. She goes, "Oh no, not Becky." Lyra goes to Bayley and goes, "Do you realize that you've been lied to this entire time, right? That after Becky attacked you, I didn't call Becky. Becky immediately called me and wanted to take your spot."
Which I thought was stupid, because who cares? And then because Becky right away was just like, "Yeah, you didn't exactly hesitate at the chance of having me."
Like,
who cares? It doesn't matter. Like, that was
she's
just
trying
stupid.
to do the thing. She's trying to do the thing of, "Bayley, I was always your friend, and I didn't turn my back on you. I wasn't quick to replace you. I didn't make a phone call. Phone call came to me."
That doesn't change the positioning. That doesn't change what's going on between them right now. Like, I don't even know why she said that. That's not a defense.
Becky was right. She looks right at her. She goes, "You didn't take a second to hesitate, though, either."
Yeah.
And she goes, and blah blah blah. It just was way too long. The three of them. This felt like it was the entire episode of Raw. in the ring, cat fighting,
Damn it.
yelling. I needed this to end 5 minutes earlier than it needed to be. At one point, Bailey looks at Lyra and said, "When you lost to Becky, you then raised her hand like the little bitch you are."
Mm-hmm.
And which goes for Lyra to go strike Bailey. She moves. She strikes Becky. Bailey goes to attack Lyra. Lyra gets no. Becky Bailey gets thrown out of the ring. Lyra turns around. Becky tries to hit her with a manhandle slam. She fails. Lyra reverses that into whatever her finishing move is called. She hits Becky with it. She hits Bailey with it. She does the thing we never say she should do. She picks up the championship. She gets in Becky's face. She puts it over Becky. She stands over the both of them to end this segment mercifully.
I thought it was stupid that she took both of them out by herself. I thought it was stupid that she picked up the belt. Immediately, as soon as it's happening, I'm like, oh, Derek's over there. And he's definitely saying the same thing I am, which is, oh, you messed up. You do not pick
Don't
up the
touch the
belt.
belt.
Do
It's
not
not
touch the
yours.
belt. Mm.
So bad.
So she's
whole
not winning.
segment. I think Becky retains. I don't think anything of consequence is going to happen at Evolution.
Okay.
I think all the champions who are coming in are going to walk out with the titles. I don't even know who's in the battle royal, but Nikki Bella wins. That's just going to throw it out there.
Really? You think she wins?
I don't even know who's in this match. It's gonna be Nikki Bella. It's gonna be Michelle McCool. It's gonna be actually they're announcing the NXT participants tonight, but let's see. Let's Women's Battle Royal Evolution participants. See who's in this match. Right now, the confirmed entrants are Nikki Bella, Stephanie Vaquer,
Okay.
Natalia,
Yep.
Maxine Dupree,
Okay.
Nia Jax,
Okay.
and Ivy Nile. If it's not Nikki Bella, it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer. That's it.
What's the next pay-per-view?
SummerSlam.
So it would be Nikki at SummerSlam?
No, that's happening at Clash in Paris.
Which is after SummerSlam?
I believe so.
There's too
SummerSlam
many.
is August 2nd and 3rd.
Too many PLEs.
Clash in Paris isn't until August 31st. So the winner of the Battle Royal doesn't get her championship match until the end of August.
I could see it being Nikki only because there's that long gap of not seeing her on TV. And that's the kind of time we're on right now.
God.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think Nikki Bella wins. All right. Then we got to get back to the Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn match. Really quick match. All the matches tonight were really fast, and none of them were really like super long. I think the longest match of the night might have been the El Grande and Arcano match.
That did last a little bit.
But so Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker comes out. Sami Zayn is coming out to the ring, and he's immediately attacked and blasted with a pipe by Karrion Kross again in the gut, because he's been walking around with those taped ribs ever since he attacked him last week or 2 weeks ago. And they go to commercial. They come back. Sammy being Sammy. No, I want to have this match. No, I want to fight, even though I'm not, I just got hit with a pipe. And he had a little bit of offense, but for the most part, this was Braun Breaker just destroying Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
He hit him with the ending finish. Sammy's getting his little bit of offense in, and he's going for the haluva kick, I think. And Braun pops up out of the corner and hits him with a spear. Sammy rolls out of the ring. Braun does the super spear when he's running all the way around the ring. So here's my thing. Michael Cole just got almost choked out by Gunther months ago for being impartial.
Okay.
As Braun Breaker is setting up for his super spear, Michael Cole was yelling at Sami Zayn to get out of the way like somebody was going to shoot him with a bazooka.
Mm-hmm.
That man was yelling, Sammy, get out of the way at the top of his lungs. Sammy, because why would he move? He shouldn't actually. The wrestlers need to pretend commentary isn't there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So Sammy's there. Braun runs all the way around the ring, hits him with the super spear, rolls him back into the ring, and then hits him with the spear when he runs off the ropes 3 times, and then eventually gets the pinfall or whatever. Braun Breaker wins. This was effective for 2 ways. One, you just keep carrying across the Sami Zayn going until Sami loses his shit. That's the only way I see this happening. And two, you need to keep reminding people that Braun Breaker is a big deal. And then like it's 3 weeks in a row he's gotten pinfalls over Sami Zayn or Penta. Like you need to keep reminding the people that Braun is a big deal. Braun's going to be a main eventer, and they established it last night. This was a solid way to get Braun over.
I just don't like the fact that, again, you're talking all that mess in the beginning of the show, like you have to destroy this man, and I don't feel he really destroyed him.
3 spears, get him off TV.
Whoa.
Get some more TV.
You hit him with 3 finishers. Congratulations.
All right, so I'm going to jump ahead to Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. And we spoke about this a little bit earlier. This was 5 minutes. The moment Jey Uso starts getting some offense, Bronson hits him in the face with he throws the gaming chair or lounge chair at Jey Uso. Hits him in the
I
face,
thought that
gets
was
disqualification.
hilarious.
Yeah, Braun Strowman style, the way he used to throw it at Roman Reigns.
Yep.
Hits him with the chair, hits him with 2 tsunamis. Producers hit the ring. They stop him from hitting the 6 tsunamis he promised.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he should have kept going to the top to hit those 6 tsunamis like he did to Seth. It would have been more impactful.
I think they should have written all 3 off TV.
I guess they could have. I mean, maybe not Penta because Penta's an ancillary character in all of this, right? It's really Jay and Sammy. Like Penta's just there.
I disagree. He's been there since the beginning of this group.
I guess.
What you mean you guess? He's on the same level of heat with those guys that Jay and Sammy are.
I just can't.
You just have something against them.
No, I have nothing against any of these guys. I just don't feel like Penta was in something with Chad Gable.
Mm-hmm.
Gable's gone. We need to move Penta into something. All right, we're going to have him also feud with these guys.
But he was already feuding with them before that, is my point.
He was feuding with Braun Breaker when Braun Breaker was the Intercontinental Champion.
Okay, then. So he was never not feuding with the members of this group.
I don't see it. I understand what you're saying. I just don't see it. Like Sammy, you have the history with Seth, so yes. Jay just was main event. Jey Uso once the championship returned, and he's best friends with Sami Zayn. Again, this just feels like to me. It's like we need a third guy to combat the 3 guys in this group. It makes sense. Penta was fighting him. Just put him in here for no good storyline reason.
That is the storyline reason.
That's a very thin storyline.
You a hater.
All right, so then we got our video package for Io Sky and Rhea Ripley because they're going to main event Evolution apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about the history between these 2 women, how Rhea has never defeated Io in one-on-one competition. They've shown their 4 matches, 2 of them in NXT, one of them in the second Mae Young Classic, I want to say.
Mm.
And this year's WrestleMania, how Io always gets the win over her.
Do you think she wins at Evolution?
I think Io retains. I think Io retains. We're gonna continue this story. Rhea doesn't need the win. Again, we talked about this going into Mania this year. You wanted to elevate Io onto the level of the other two. They kind of did, but they kind of did it. So she got the win at Mania, and they put positioning her as big of a star as Bianca and Rhea, but they haven't done anything with her since.
Yeah.
It's been 3 months and a lot of weeks she's not on TV or she's not in a feud with anybody, right? So how did you follow up her big win? You really didn't. So how do we elevate her again? Have her beat Rhea again. Rhea's not going to be hurt from a loss. So have her beat Rhea again. But you need to follow up with that and really get some momentum behind her because fans love her. She's charismatic and energetic in her own way. So she's a great worker. Let's have her do something. Like, I don't know, and they haven't had Stephanie McMahon on TV in like the last couple weeks either. What after Rhea? Like, do we go into a feud with Stephanie? You could do that. Like, there are options.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they do with her. I think Io wins. Okay. Gunther hits the ring and he starts talking about how he was running down Bill Goldberg last week.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts talking, and almost immediately when he starts talking, you hear the rev of an engine. Mm-hmm. And you see this really nice red Firebird, Thunderbird, one of those cars driving. I thought it was going to be Goldberg on a motorcycle, but Goldberg drive into the backstage and walk through the arena, or through the backstage right into the arena. And two takeaways from this. I always am a thing of whoever comes out on top, it will not win at the PLE or the pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. I still believe Bill Goldberg is going to win this match at the pay-per-view. This man came out and did not pick up a mic, got in Gunther's face, started yelling at him, telling him, let's do this right now. We don't have to wait. Gunther goes to pick the mic up to his mouth to speak. Goldberg slaps it out of his hand and tells him to hit him. Gunther goes to strike Goldberg. He blocks it. One punch knocks Gunther on his ass. Gunther and it goes to Seth for a spear. Gunther rolls out of the ring, looking scared, walking away. I really don't like what they're doing with Gunther. Mm-hmm. These back-to-back weeks, you had somebody verging on senior citizenship. Put him on his butt.
I can't with
Okay, I'm sorry. CM Punk is not on the verge of senior citizenship. But Bill Goldberg is. Mm-hmm. He's 4 years away from collecting Social Security.
Wow.
He really is.
I believe it.
He's 58 years old. He's 4 years away from collecting Social Security. Punk is 4 years away from the age of 50. These men should not be pushing down or knocking down your heavyweight champion with one push or one strike. That is not how he should be portrayed. He needs to be a badass. And every time they do something like this to him, it makes him look weak.
Yep.
My thing is, everybody thinks that this is going to be Goldberg's last match, and he's going to lose to Gunther. That's why you're making Gunther look weak right now, so he looks stronger when he beats Goldberg on Saturday. Nah, bruh. Goldberg's going to come in there, spear, brainbuster, jackhammer, because he doesn't have the athleticism to jackhammer anymore. Brainbuster, walk out with the championship, and then, like I said, I think Seth cashes it. I'm still on that train. I'm staying on that because I think Seth might lose to LA Knight earlier in the show on Saturday. I think Seth might lose to LA Knight and then cash in and win the championship that night. Mm. Because if you weren't watching wrestling, but that's how Seth won his first championship. He lost his match to Randy Orton at WrestleMania when he was the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, and then cashed in during the Roman Brock match, turning it into a triple threat, and walked out champion that night. I think they do it again. Then Goldberg beats Gunther, and Seth walks out heavyweight champion.
Okay. I just didn't like Goldberg looking so strong. I feel like this is now the second rivalry in a row where you have Gunther looking like a punk. Because Jay had him on the ropes too.
Like he did and he didn't. Like we talked about that going into Mania, how Gunther needed to be portrayed more. I'm recording. I forgot to put the thing up. He looked weak for most weeks, but he had that one moment where he had Jay handcuffed up and beat the crap out of Jimmy. But he needed to do that most weeks going up to Mania to continue his momentum, not just once and then go into Mania and lose. This is just, we need to make the senior citizen look strong, so that way people think he's going to win the championship in his hometown. And traditional wrestling tropes say Gunther is going to win this match coming out of Atlanta. I don't see it. I think Goldberg wins. I think we get that moment with him holding the title in front of his family until, he gets it ripped away from him.
Mm-hmm. Lineage-wise, this is the world heavyweight, right?
Yes. I believe they said that this championship carries the same lineage as the old world heavyweight championship.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever.
It doesn't, because technically the world heavyweight was fused with the WWE, no? When Roman had it. So technically, John Cena's belt would hold both lineages.
So there were two belts going into 2014. Cena and Orton fused those two belts. They lost to Brock. Somebody lost to Brock. Brock left for a while. They created the Universal Championship, creating two belts. After, then Brock was the WWE champion. Roman was the Universal champion. Roman beats Brock to have both belts. He holds them both for 3 years, and then they fuse them into one title.
So again, technically, this doesn't have any lineage to the old belt. It's not supposed to, anyway.
It's not supposed to, technically. Okay. The original WWE, they try to retcon about saying the original WWF Championship, the one that Brett and Shawn and Taker and Austin had, goes into the Cena belt right now.
Yes.
And then the belt that was the World Heavyweight Championship, that history goes into this belt. They try to retcon it when they brought this title back, but it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Like it's weird. All right. So then we got our main event. Seth Rollins and Penta. By the way, I put the over-under at 3.5 sling blades in this match yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think we got one. I was super surprised. It was only one. Mm-hmm. It was only one.
I was thinking the same thing. I as soon as I was doing something and then I heard swing way and I was like, there's the one.
I thought he was going to hit like 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah, I was waiting for the next one and nothing ever came up.
No, we got one. But this was a fun match. These two guys can work really well. Seth's frog splash is beautiful. But yeah, like we said, towards the end, Seth cheats to win. I still say it was incidental content. I say, Penta, you should not be putting a man's face near your crotch. Not during a wrestling match. Seth was going for stomp, I think, or pedigree, and Penta reversed it into a Penta driver. Goes for a pinfall. He kicks out. Goes to pick Seth up. Seth hits him with a headbutt to the groin. And he laughs, hits him with the stomp, gets the 3 count, crawls over to Paul Heyman and says, call them now, because they have already taken out both Sammy and Jay tonight. They want to take out Penta now. Bronson and Bronson injury specialists take 10 years I swear to God,
They took forever to come
they
down.
took forever to get to the ring. They got to the top of the ramp, and I swear to God, I make this reference all the time. It was Jeff Hardy at the top of the AEW ramp while dancing to his music while Matt Hardy's getting beat down in the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
They were just there, slowly lingering. They were the hyenas from The Lion King trying to come in last night as slow as they were moving. And Seth gets up. LA Knight hits the ring. LA Knight hits a BFT, runs away. That's when these two guys hit the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to chase after him. Braun falls over the barricade somehow, trying to chase after.
That was hilarious. And then Bronson Reed needed to pull him back.
Yeah, because he couldn't get his footing. Like, he was there for like 10 seconds. He couldn't get his footing. I'm like, Braun, what are you doing? And LA Knight gets on the top of the thing, and he's celebrating with the crowd. Seth is bewildered, not knowing what happened, looking stunned. Yeah. And the show goes off the air with the heels in the middle of the ring and LA Knight's cheering with the crowd. Yeah, so that was Raw. Much better than SmackDown. Like we said, no tag matches.
Much better than SmackDown.
Much better than SmackDown. I have nothing to scream about this week. I screamed out something. I don't remember what it was. Oh, Nikki Bella. That was it.
I don't know. That wasn't much of a scream. No, overall good show. Nothing to piss us off. That was, and it's bad that you have to. That's how you have to rate them. By how much it pissed you off.
I give it 5 angry emojis.
Which is the standard.
This is the standard. We start doing that. We start doing that. How much did this piss you off? 2.5 angry emojis.
No,
it bothered me, but
it was a good show.
It was fine. Yeah. Again, I like the fact that the heels got over and they seemed like they were.
Again, my only gripe with all that was the fact that they weren't fully destroyed. They weren't, like, for me anyway. Yeah, you got Sammy off of TV. That's 1 out of the 3. The other 2 are going to be back next week. You were supposed to destroy them. That's my point. Bell rings, you keep going. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, then we're looking forward to this weekend where we have 3 WWE shows.
We are not. We are not looking forward to it. I hate when we have that much. It's so
we
much.
Have NXT Stand and Deliver, which you're not going to watch anyway. That's not even Stand and Deliver. What is this? Great American Bash.
Yeah.
Great American Bash, which you're not going to watch anyway.
No, but I got SmackDown. Then
we got SmackDown Friday.
Evolution.
Saturday Night Main Event Saturday. Evolution.
Yeah.
Sunday. You're not going to watch AEW.
No.
There's something else. I feel like there's something else. Anyways. Yeah, so what are you looking forward to? One match or segment from the entirety of the weekend.
It's the one that I'm least excited about, but I want to know what happens, which is the Bill Goldberg and Gunther, because I want to see if they're really going to take the belt off this man and put it on Goldberg, because that's really going to piss me off. I really don't want him to have any ties. That's why I kept asking about the lineage, because I don't want him to have no ties to no belt. Like, basically,
he's a former Universal Champion.
I want him erased from history. That belt don't exist.
What do you mean? He was Universal Championship, which is the Cena belt.
But it's not the Universal. It's the undisputed. Blah, 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 blah.
It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's part of the lineage. I get that, but what I'm saying is that no, I'm looking at him from his WCW days. He's gone. That belt is gone. The Universal title is gone. I don't need him in recent championships. When was he Universal Champion?
2016.
Oh damn! No, that's almost 10 years ago, bro.
He beat Kevin Owens for it. Was it 16 or 17?
KO? No.
Yeah, that was when Kevin Owens was doing the whole list thing with Jericho.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Remember, I missed that whole era.
Oh, yeah. So that's why Jericho was pissed. Yeah, 8 years ago, 2000. Oh, Fastlane 2017. It was 2017.
Mm.
That's why Jericho was pissed and said he wanted to leave WWE because they did the entire storyline for the year how Jericho and Owens were best friends, and then it was supposed to be the blow off at the main event at Mania because they also did the Festival of Friendship where Kevin Owens beat the crap out of him, and then within a week Vince changed his mind. He's like, no, we're not. You're not going to be the main event anymore. We're going to put the title on Goldberg, and it's going to be Goldberg Brock in the main event for the title. And then when they got to Mania, they put Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho on second on the show, and they only gave him like 8 minutes on the show when that was the best story for the entire company for the entire year. So he's like, no, I have to leave. And then that's when he left and started doing New Japan stuff before AEW was a thing.
Nice. Look at the. Thank you for the history lesson.
Yep.
Because I don't be no one. Anyway, but yeah, that's the thing that I'm most looking forward to is to finding out that, because then I like your version of what happens. I do like it. If he beats Gunther for it and then Seth immediately cashes in, I would love that. I don't know if I necessarily believe that that's what's going to happen, but I think that's the most intriguing version of this outcome. But I'm tired of them. They keep crapping on Gunther. that's my problem. Is they keep crapping on Gunther.
This man has been champion for 76% of the time he has been in WWE. They keep making his storylines crap.
Yep.
Like, stop crapping on this man. He is a throwback. He is what you want in a wrestling heel.
I
He needs to be the.
I believe if you don't have anything to do, and you don't have anything like grand happening, you leave it on him. He's good as a champion.
He looks like a champion. He talks like a champion. He walks like an old school wrestling heel.
Mm-hmm.
You can have any single one of these baby faces who are in the middle of this Seth Rollins feud go against Gunther. Please not Sami Zayn again. I don't want to see Gunther Sami Zayn again. But you have Jay, you have Sammy, you have Penta, you have who else is on this roster?
LA Knight.
LA Knight is kind of like on SmackDown on Raw. Who knows where he is? But you can move him over and have him face Gunther for the championship. You can elevate somebody from the mid card. Like there is plenty of things you could. You have eventually a returning Ilya Dragunov. Like there are things to do with Gunther as champion, and not just use him to look weak against everybody else. Yeah, then like why have we not gotten Gunther CM Punk? Like at some point, like you have Punk feuding with Rollins for the last year and a half. You can move Drew McIntyre over, and I know that's two heels, but you could do Gunther and McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are guys who you could Gunther and Randy Orton. Like I don't know why he's always positioned this way. It's like he pissed in somebody's cornflakes and told them it was lemonade.
I hate
like it's just bad. The way they view him.
And you, what are you looking forward to?
I don't think there's a match that excites me on the entirety of both shows.
Mm.
I think I will be thoroughly entertained by both shows. But if I really had to pick just a match for match quality, it's going to be Rio.
I knew
Rhea
you were going to say
Rhea
that.
and
I
Io.
literally had it on the tip of my tongue. I was like, he's going to say Rhea Ripley and
it's Rhea and Io because I know the match quality of that is going to be great.
Yeah.
I know that's going to be a great match. But when you look at up and down the Saturday Night Main Event card, and it was also announced we're getting Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre on Saturday Night Main Event. You got Cena's not on the show. Cody's not on the show. You got Goldberg and Gunther. That's not going to be a great match. I mean, I hope it's going to be intriguing to see if my thing is right. But there's nothing there. I don't even. What is on Saturday Night Main Event? Is Jay on the show?
I don't think so.
I don't know what is on the show. Event card date. Is there only 2 announced matches for this show? I could have sworn they ran through like 6 of them last night.
I don't remember all that. That's way too much.
LA Knight and Seth Rollins is on the show. Goldberg and Gunther is on the show. Randy Orton versus Drew is on the show. That's all they've announced for Saturday Night Main Event.
Oh, there you go.
That's not something that intrigues me, like in the least bit, to watch this.
Mm.
And then Evolution, you have the women's tag team championship
Yeah,
match.
the Battle
You have the
Royal.
women's battle royal. You have
Io,
Rhea
Ripley.
and Io. Oh, I take it back. I know what intrigues me the most. Naomi versus Jade Cargill in a street fight. That's gonna be the match I pay just for entertaining. Naomi's gonna make it fun.
Isn't the Tiffany Stratton match also on Evolution? Tiffany Stratton and Trish
I
Stratus?
told you why yesterday I don't care about that match.
I'm just saying, but it is on the match.
It is on Evolution.
It is on
Evolution. It is on the show. Oh, and the triple threat match between Becky Bailey and Io.
Not Io. Lyra.
Becky Bailey and Lyra. My bad. All these little tiny names. And maybe we'll get a Julia match. Maybe they'll announce a Julia match this coming Friday on SmackDown.
Right? Because she's the only one that's not on the card.
She's the only champion who's not on the card. Only women's champions on the card. Maybe they'll throw her in the Battle Royal. Who knows?
That would be. There's no way you have a Evolution pay-per-view, all women, and then you don't you don't put Julia on it. There's no way.
Yeah, she's not. They're not going to announce a match. She's going to be in the Battle Royal.
Copy.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, and I haven't been paying too much on NXT to tell you what I want to watch. When is Slammiversary? Because what I really am intrigued by is Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and Trick Williams for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. That's what I'm really intrigued by. See if Puerto Rican Bronx native Mike Santana can walk away with his first ever major World Heavyweight Championship.
I don't see it happening, but that'd be cool.
You have no idea who Mike Santana is.
He used to be in the tag team that you used to rave about.
Which tag team?
I don't remember the name of them. It was a long time ago. There you go.
LAX.
They broke up a long time ago. Yeah.
Him and Ortiz. Yes. But yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to. But I don't know when that match is because when is Slammiversary? Oh, it's Sunday, July 20th. That's the following weekend.
Good, because they could not be in this cluster.
Oh, I mean, they have their working relationship with WWE. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be. Hey, we're going to put one of our biggest shows of the year up against a weekend. You have 3, and AEW's on. Like, that's not happening.
True.
Are you clipping your nails?
No.
It sounded like you like that noise where you clip the nails.
I have it.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Tonight is NXT. Do you want to go through the rundown of NXT?
No. It's not canon.
Oh, Jesus Christ with you. The NXT Tag Team Championships are on the line.
Okay.
Hank and Tank. You even know who that is?
No, but that sounds stupid.
Hank and Tank are facing Sean Spears and Nico Vance.
I don't know who none of those people are.
Sean Spears, Ty Dillinger.
Oh, that guy.
Is
he still wearing a mask?
No.
They have him in a mask in the game.
Ty Dillinger? Sean Spears?
Yeah. In a black mask.
Interesting. Ricky Starks versus Jackson Drake, Ricky Smokes, and Brad Baylor.
Isn't it Ricky Saints?
Oh, what? Yes, it's Ricky Saints, but the website I'm on has him listed as Ricky Starks. So that's just what I read. It's Ricky Saints, correct?
See, I know stuff.
But it literally says Ricky Starks. But he's facing 3 guys from Evolve
The fuck? That's so weird.
in a gauntlet match.
Okay.
Uh, Joe Hendry and Mike Santana are facing Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont. They're 2 big, muscular black guys.
I could have told you that. I don't even know who they are.
Charlie Dempsey is facing Tavion Heights. Any idea who either of those people are?
Nope.
Charlie Dempsey is William Regal's son.
Mm.
And they're both in No Quarter Catch crew. And the NXT general manager Ava will announce the NXT participants for the Evolution Battle Royal. So yes, very skippable NXT.
All that to tell me it's skippable. I hate you.
I haven't watched NXT in like 4 weeks.
There you go.
All right, I think I can call it on that. Okay, sorry. No, ADHD is kicking in.
I'm noticing. You're all over the place.
All right. On that note, we will be back on. Okay, so we have to talk. Are we going to do a podcast Saturday reviewing SmackDown?
Saturday
are
I
we
work,
going to-
so it's going to be Sunday. Continue.
So Sunday, we're gonna do SmackDown and Great American Bash. Not Great American Bash.
Nope.
Not Saturday Night Main Event.
Mm-hmm.
We can do those 2, and then are we gonna wait till Tuesday to put out the Evolution Raw together, or are we going to put out one Monday for Evolution and one Tuesday for Raw? This is why these weekends are ridiculous, chat. Like people, like we got to try to keep up with all of these things. It's like we have to have at least one extra pod for the weekend, and then the question is, are we going to do 2 extra?
I would do SmackDown by itself and then do the 2 pay-per-views together and then do Raw.
So Sunday we record SmackDown review. Monday we record Evolution. And
Well, because
Saturday
Monday
Main
you
Event.
work, correct?
Yeah, but I get out at 2.
No. I got that part. I'm just saying, so we can't record in the late. We have to try to midday it.
I mean, we can. I just had to crack out on some of these bad boys.
We're not
These
gonna
being
do That's not fair to you. Remember, we're trying to do this while keeping our work-life balance. I don't know. I think we can. I think Sunday we can crack out both. We'll just do it back to back. And SmackDown, it depends, because if SmackDown's garbage, then we're just gonna put it together with the other one like we did last time.
Yeah.
Because
So,
there's no point in having its own show if it's literally 2 things of consequence.
All right. So Sunday we do SmackDown, Saturday Night Main Event. Tuesday we do Evolution Raw.
That's
I think
not
that
at
might be
all
the
what
best.
I said, but okay.
No, because Sunday. Remember the Evolution pay per view on Sunday is at 7.
Oh, it's on Sunday.
Yeah. SmackDown is Friday.
Sunday we
NXT.
do SmackDown and Evolution,
And Saturday Night Main Event.
Monday
Saturday Night Main Event.
What? That's what I said. What did I say?
No, you said Evolution.
Oh, Sunday we record SmackDown and Saturday Night Main Event. Monday we can record Evolution, and then Tuesday we'll record Monday.
So it'll be 3 pods coming to you next week, guys.
Okay.
Oh God, this is how we figured all this out on air. Okay, cool.
This is why my family gets upset every time I say I'm recording a pod.
Like, yeah, tell them next week your entire weekend is booked.
Yeah, because you got to actually watch the shows, and then you got to record what you watched. Ugh. Okay. Whatever.
You could just take all day Sunday and just watch them all back to back, and you'd be like, family, I'm ignoring you for the next 24 hours.
Lord baby Jesus. Either way, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it for us. We appreciate you guys for watching, and We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.